deregulation. Everything is open to the market. So it's basically a concept that is hinged on a free market.
Right. So in other words, if I have enough money, I could buy whatever I want.
Yes, and this is why Ugandans and also other ethnic minorities really need to take heed of these things, because under this system, you see, for example, the conservatives say that there are some in the conservative that say we need to pull out of the European Union, and they say they want to control immigration. But what they're really saying is that they want to be part of the whole idea of neoliberal concept. They're completely for that. But what they want is to open Britain up to a point whereby if you have the money, they don't care where you come from. They don't care how that money is made. You could always invest it here. So the reason why, as Ugandans, we have to really pay attention to this is because this is the driving force behind Britain today.
Right.
This is the driving force behind the reason why many of us are looking at 0-hour contract. Many young people are leaving university, they can't find work, and if they find a job, they're forced to do the 0-hour contract. This is why people in the NHS, the doctors and the nurses are beginning to we see them on picketing and protesting because of the changes. This is why our wages are going down. Also, it has a lot to do with this concept of neoliberalism. And I think as a people, as a group, we need to really, really, really understand these ideas and understand that ideas are powerful, and these ideas have a tremendous impact on our day-to-day life, whether you're poor, whether you're rich. Because at the end of the day, if you cannot pay off your credit card, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you don't have anywhere to live, it doesn't matter anymore, because the social housings that we used to take for granted, the days when people used to come in this country and they were given free access to housing, they were given free access to benefits, all these things are slowly coming to an end. And as a people, what I'm saying here is that we need to take heed of these things. So going back to the referendum, when we look at this referendum, what we have to ultimately ask ourselves as a people is this: is that whether we stay in the European Union or we come out the European Union, the fact of the matter is that the reality on the ground for us as a people and other ethnic minorities, I don't care whether you was born here or you came here when you was a child, the reality is things have changed. Things have changed. And let me also just touch on this for one moment. You know, if you look at, for example, the white working class of this country, they have largely been ignored by politics in this country. So now, if the white working class of this country have been completely sidelined from politics because of globalization, because of big businesses, because of a commitment to creating wealth, because of the finance sector and all these other things that are taking place, what makes us as a community or as an ethnic minority think that the days of low wages and all these things and being able to come here and get these benefits are going to continue if the white working class themselves have been forced into a position whereby they are now an underclass and they're struggling just like most immigrants who are coming to this country are struggling. So we really need to look at this critically and ask ourselves, is there a future here? Possibly. I'm not saying that let's go back, but I'm saying that we need to say, is there something else that we can do? And are we comfortable with a country that's going in this direction? Because I can tell you this now, for people that are listening. If you thought that this country is going to continue the way it is, where you have full employment, those days are finished. Because for every job that comes up, there's about 100 applicants. Yeah. And they're all going for the same jobs. So I'm saying that we have to think long term, and we have to be a bit more strategic in our thinking. And also sometimes we also have to think about the kind of work that we might want to get ourselves into, because the blue collar jobs, these are like cleaning, low skilled jobs. The cleaner, your bus driver, your security guard, the people that make your coffee and tea. We need to understand that the people that are coming to this country are going for those jobs.
Yeah.
So if you're a Ugandan who's been in this country for such a long time and you haven't skilled yourself, you haven't educated yourself, you haven't really taken the time to try to make a career for yourself, guess what? A time's going to come when you might not even be favorable to work in these particular industry, because they might want those people to come and do it. And even if you want to work in this industry, they might say to you, well, tough, we're going to give you, let's say, £5 an hour to do the job, which you might think, well, that's unacceptable. I'm not going to do it. But that's the way in which we're going.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so crucial. It's so important, because we're going to have to, because the whole concept of, I would just go and sign on, or I would just go to and get the benefits. That's not going to be there forever. And as a people, as Ugandans, we need to wake up and educate ourselves, because I don't know if it's still here. If the opportunity is still there for you to go and educate yourself and get another skill, you're going to have to get that, because the new influx of people that will come in are willing to do whatever it takes to get these jobs. And don't forget, yes, this is not a racial thing, but at the end of the day, we know that color plays a huge part in what happens. So here at Uganda Youth Collective, our mission is to get information, is to be able to give Ugandans the right information. Many of you are asking for information, you're asking the questions, but unfortunately, sometimes asking some people are giving you the wrong answers. And this is why Uganda Youth Collective, and I'm going to encourage you to make sure you tune in every week. We're going to be coming to you every single week, looking at current affairs and giving you the right information based on research, so that when you get information from your friends, when you're at the party, don't just take it, go around and research. So I just want to encourage you, keep it tuned at Uganda Youth Collective. And as I finish, we're going to say this. The other side of this referendum for us to consider is whether in 20 years from now, Britain will still be home for us.
Absolutely.
If you never considered investing back home in land or property, it's time you do so, and do it now. Whether we vote to stay or leave, the continued deficit, unemployment, low wages, debt, and the fact that those under 40 years will probably never own their own house in the UK means we have to seriously look at investing back home. The referendum is really about prosperity, whether in Europe or outside. This is Winnie Kitaka and Richard Kiyimba for Uganda Youth Collective. Thank you so much for being with us, and we hope you stay tuned. And please go ahead and let us know what you think.